Hello students, now we are going to start the fifth lecture of our chapter, that is natural resources. Now in this lecture we are going to study certain other topics, and the very first topic is acid rain. Now what is acid rain? The acid rain, acid rain means the rain which is acidic in nature. So we are going to study the normal pH of a rain. So the normal pH or pH of a normal rain pH of a normal rain is between 5.6 to around 6.5. So that is the normal pH of a rain. Now what is acidic rain? In acid rain the pH is less than 5. So in acid rain is rainfall. Acid rain is the rainfall with a pH of less than 5. They don't have much pH, and that's why they are acidic in nature, and that's why they are called as acid rain. That's why they are called as acid rain. Now the most acidic rain, the most acidic rain has occurred over West Virginia. It has occurred over West Virginia in USA. Is in USA with the pH, and the pH of this acid rain is with a pH of 1.5. So it is that low with a pH of 1.5. pH 1.5 is the most acid. The acid is very strong here. So that is known as acid rain. Now acids from, what happens here is acids from atmosphere. Acids from atmosphere are deposited over earth in two forms. They are deposited over earth, are deposited over earth in two forms. And now what are the two forms of the acid rain? So the very first form is wet and the second is dry. So in wet deposition, it is in two form, wet and dry. So in wet deposition has occurs and wet deposition occurs through, it occurs through rain, snow and fog. It occurs through rain, snow and fog. Now, dry, we are going to study that how does dry deposition occur. So, dry deposition is settling down. In dry deposition, the acid is settling down. In dry deposition, the acid is settling down and wind blown is settling down and wind blown acidic gases and particles. And there are wind blown acidic gases. There are wind blown acidic gases and particles over trees. and particles over trees. Now, there are various articles and soil also. In dry deposition, there are various articles. There are various articles and soil. Now, about 50% of the acidity, we are going to study that what is the composition of dry and wet deposition. So, about 50%, about 50% of acidity is passed through earth, is passed to earth as dry deposition, is passed to earth as dry deposition. About 50% of acidity is passed to earth as dry deposition. Now, acid rain is caused by, how does acid rain is caused? We are going to study that acid rain is caused. What are the causes of acid rain? Acid rain is caused by large scale emission, by large scale emission of acidic gases. It is caused by large scale emission of acidic gases. When there are a very large scale of acidic gases in the atmosphere, acidic gases into atmosphere, and from thermal power plants, industries, and automobiles. So where does the acidic gases come from? Acidic gases means here CO2, nitrogen dioxide, and other gases. So where do they come from? They come from thermal power plants. They come from thermal power plants, and they come from industries and automobiles also. So industries also produce a large amount of acidic gases. Industries and also automobiles. In Delhi, the maximum pollution is because of the automobiles only. For the automobiles. Now, of course, with this, the common ones are sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides. The common as the common gases, the common acidic gases are the common acidic gases are the very first one is sulfur dioxide. We can call it as SO2. Nitrogen oxides, nitrogen oxides, also NO, and subscript is X, and also volatile organic carbons, we call as VOCs, volatile organic carbons. We call that as VOCs. And there are other hydrogen chlorides also, and hydrogen chlorides. Now, with this, the next topic that we are going to study about is that how our NOx are produced. So when nitrogen oxides, NO, and the subscript is X, are produced when NO are produced in the atmosphere. They are produced, nitrogen oxides are produced in the atmosphere through lightning. They are produced in the atmosphere through lightning. Through lightning. This is very important that you have to know that why NOx is produced through lightning. And sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, SO2, and other nitrogen oxides are changed into the atmosphere, are changed into the atmosphere they are changed into the atmosphere into sulfuric acid and nitric acid, and these oxides are changed into sulfuric and nitric acid. So changed into the atmosphere into sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So this is how acids are formed in the atmosphere. So they are changed in sulfuric and nitric acid, and with this, by combining with, they combine with oxygen and water. By combining with oxygen and water. They combine with oxygen and water. Now we are going to look at the equations of this also, that how acid rain is formed. So the formation of acid rain is that sulfur dioxide combines with oxygen and water, and it gives us H2SO4, that is a sulfuric acid, and it gives us H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid. It gives us H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, and at the second equation, NO2 combines with oxygen and water and gives us nitric acid. And it gives us nitric acid. Now, how does the formation happens? The air pollutants, that is sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, the air pollutants, that is sulfur dioxide or nitrogen oxides, and they are also called as acid precursors. They are also called as acid precursors. They are keeping that in box. They are also called as acid precursors. And they transport and change. And complex oxidation reaction occurs. Oxidation reactions, the addition of oxygen is known as oxidation reaction. So complex oxidation reaction occurs here. They transport and change themselves, and complex oxidation reactions occur. Complex oxidation reactions occur, and what happens here is they convert themselves into H2SO4 or HNO3. They convert themselves into H2SO4 and HNO3, that is sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So this is the formation of acid rain. Formation. This is the process of formation of acid rain, that SO2 and nitrogen SO2 and nitrogen oxides combine with oxygen and water, and they undergo complex oxidation reactions and then gives us acid, that is H2SO4 and HNO3. Now, the next topic that we are going to study about is effects of acid rain. Of course, because there are toxic substances in the rain, so that rain will be harmful for us. So we are going to study about the effects of acid rain. Now, the very first effect of an acid rain is that acid rain damages plants. Acid rain damages damages plants. They damage the plants. But how they damage the plants? They damage the plants by the direct effect, by either the direct effect or by direct effect on foliage, that means on the ground, foliage, and growing points. Plants do have growing points, so when acid rain just drops on the plants, they have a very bad effect on the plants. Now, it causes leaching of essential minerals of soil. It also causes leaching of essential minerals. It causes leaching. What is leaching? It causes leaching of essential minerals. Other essential minerals do not can do more of them. So, leaching of essential minerals. They causes leaching of essential minerals of soil. And the next point is toxic minerals left in the soil. The toxic minerals that are left in the soil toxic minerals left in the soil further kill the plants. Further kill the plants. Kill the plants. About 50% of natural forest, and they have such a bad effect on plants that about 50% of natural forests have been destroyed by acid rain. 50% of natural forests, about 50% of natural forests have been destroyed because this rain is so acidic and they have such a bad impact on plants that it just destroys all the forests. Have been destroyed have been destroyed by acid rain. And where does it happen? It happens in Germany, Sweden, USA, etc. Now, also the next point is that acid rain has also ruined freshwater reservoirs because acid rain drops in the water also. So acid rain also ruined acid rain also ruined freshwater reservoirs. fresh water reservoirs. Now, the next points that we are going now the next point that we are going to study about is the stone leprosy. Now, what is stone leprosy? Now, acidity dissolves toxic metals also. So, acidity dissolves toxic metals because the acid rain is gives acidity, so it dissolves toxic metals. It dissolves toxic metals such as mercury, it is denoted by Hg, lead denoted by Pb, zinc Zn, and aluminium. These are the toxic metals, and both acidity and toxic metals, both acidity and the toxic metals and the toxic metals kill all types of aquatic life. They just kill because the acidity is present in the aquatic water, and there are toxic metals also. The combination of acidity and toxic metals kill all types of aquatic life. Kills all types of aquatic life. They just kills all types of aquatic life except some algae and fungi because they don't affect them so much except some algae and fungi. Acid rain corrodes metals. Acid rain corrodes metals. We know now that acid rain dissolve toxic metals. So acid rain corrodes metals, marbles, painted surfaces. It just corrodes. It just corrodes metals, marbles, painted surfaces, slate, stone, etc. Slate, stone, etc. And it can also dissolve a stone. It can also dissolve stones also. So acid rain can dissolve stones. And this phenomenon is called as stone leprosy. And this phenomenon is called as stone leprosy. This phenomenon is called as stone leprosy. Now, the next topic that we are going to look at is ozone depletion. Now, what is ozone depletion? We all know that our Earth is covered with a layer called ozone. So, if that depletes, then we are in the direct contact with the ultraviolet rays. So, that is harmful for us. Now, ozone depletion. So, between 20 to 26 kilometer, ozone layer is present between 20 to 26 kilometer above the sea level. Above the sea level, it occurs above the sea level, and it occurs ozone layer. There is ozone layer at 20 to 26 kilometer above the sea level. There is ozone layer. It occurs ozone layer and the part of atmosphere that contain ozone and the part of atmosphere and the part of atmosphere that containing it is called ozonosphere. It's called as ozonosphere and it is present in stratosphere. Ozonosphere is present in stratosphere, so we call that stratosphere also. It is present in stratosphere. Now, what happens here is this layer is established. Why does ozone layer is established? So this layer is established. This layer is established due to equilibrium. Due to equilibrium. This layer is established due to equilibrium between between photodissociation of ozone, photodissociation of ozone by UV radiations and regeneration of ozone. The ozone layer just photodissociates itself, photodissociation of ozone by UV rays by UV rays and by UV rays or radiations and regeneration of ozone. And regeneration of ozone happens here. And regeneration of ozone. And regeneration of ozone happens here. So this layer is established due to the photodissociation of ozone layer by itself and regeneration of ozone happens here. Now, the next few points we are going to look at in ozone depletion are the thickness of this ozonosphere is average 5 kilometer. The thickness of this ozonosphere is average 5 kilometers. The thickness of this ozonosphere is average 5 kilometer. And the ozone layer acts as a shield. The ozone layer the ozone layer acts as a shield because the ozone protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays, then it acts as a shield and absorbs the harmful ultraviolet rays and absorbs the harmful ultraviolet rays, the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sunlight to protect us from of the sunlight to protect us to protect us from the Earth's biota, to protect us from the ultraviolet rays, from the harmful ultraviolet rays, or sometimes we also call rays as radiations. So ultraviolet radiations. Now, so this layer is very important for the survival and existence. So this layer, because of this layer is very important. This layer is very important for the survival and existence of life on this earth, on this earth. Now, the next topic that we are going to look at is the causes of ozone depletion. Now, what are the causes of ozone depletion? The very first cause of ozone depletion is the decline in spring layer. The decline in spring layer, the decline in spring layer thickness is called as ozone hole. The decline in spring layer thickness is called as ozone hole. The next point is, in the ozone depletion, ozone hole is largest over Antarctica. Ozone hole is largest over Antarctica. Ozone hole is largest over Antarctica and was just short of 27 million square kilometer. 27 million square kilometer during September during September during September 2003. Now, many chemicals here many chemicals responsible for the destruction of ozone responsible there are a lot of chemicals that are also responsible for the depletion of ozone responsible for the depletion of ozone. There are many of the chemicals that are responsible for the depletion of ozone, and they are chlorofluorocarbons. The very first is chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons, also called as CFCs. The next are halogens. The next are halogens. and they are used in fire extinguisher. They are used in fire extinguisher. They are used in fire extinguisher. And methane and nitrous oxide. And the third is methane and nitrous oxide. Methane and nitrous oxide. Now, the next point we are going to study is that there are a group of synthetic chemicals. There are a group of synthetic chemicals. These are not natural chemicals, but these are the synthetic chemicals. So they are synthetic chemicals, and these synthetic chemicals are used as a cooling agent and also used as a coolant, and are used as a coolant and are used as coolants in refrigerators, they are used as coolants in refrigerators, air conditioners, air conditioners, as cleaning solvents and propellants, as cleaning solvents, and they are used as cleaning solvents and propellants and propellants. Now, the CFCs produce these CFCs. They are used as CFCs, and these CFCs, how does it depletes the ozone layer? The chlorofluorocarbons produce active chlorine. They produce active chlorine. That means chlorine atoms. They produce active chlorines, that is Cl and ClO radicals. They produce active chlorine, that is Cl and Cl radicals, in the presence of UV radiations. In the presence of UV radiations. They produce active chlorine in the presence of UV radiations, and these active chlorine radicals and these active chlorine radicals and these active chlorine radicals catalytically destroy ozone. They destroy ozone. It serves as a catalyst to destroy the ozone. Catalytically destroy ozone and converts it into oxygen. Ozone is O3 and converts it into oxygen and converts it into oxygen, that is O2. Now we are going to look at the reactions, that how the conversion of O3 into O2 comes. So CFCs and nitrous oxide. So very first we are going to discuss about CFCs. So CFCs are in the form of CF, Cl2, and with UV rays, these CFCs convert, one second, CF, Cl3, and with UV rays, these CFCs convert them into CF, Cl2, and this release an active chlorine. And now these CFCl2s can also release active chlorines. These CFCl2s can also release active chlorine, and CF Cl is here, and this will release active chlorine. So this active chlorine is responsible for the depletion of ozone, and this active chlorine will combine with oxygen. This active chlorine will combine with oxygen to convert itself into CNO, and this CNO will combine with O3, and this CLO will combine with O3 and convert itself into Cl and twice of O2. I hope this equation is clear to all of you, and this is a very important equation of how the O3 is being converted into O2. Now we are going to study about nitrous oxide. So nitrous oxide, it is produced by industrial processes. It is produced by industrial processes. The nitrous oxide is produced by industrial processes, forest fires. Whenever there is a fire in the forest, then nitrous oxide is produced. Solid waste disposal. Solid waste disposal. Spraying of insecticides and pesticides also produce nitrous oxide. And spraying of insecticides and pesticides also produce nitrous oxide. Now methane and nitrous oxide also cause ozone destruction. The two main substances are methane and nitrous oxide. Methane and nitrous oxide they also cause ozone destruction. They also cause ozone destruction. Now with this, the next topic that we are going to look at is what are the effects of ozone depletion. Now the effects of ozone depletion are the thinning of ozone layer, the thinning of ozone layer results in an increase in UV rays. When there is a thinning of ozone layer, it results in an increase in the UV rays or UV radiations. UV radiations, and that are about in the range of and in the range of 290 to 320 nanometers. So they increase by the range of 290 to 320 nanometers and reaching the Earth's surface. Now it is estimated that a 5% loss that a 5% loss of ozone a 5% loss of ozone results in 10% increase results in 10% increase. This will result in 10% increase. A 5% loss will result in 10% increase of UV radiations. In UV radiations, and these UV radiations will UV radiations will have a effect on ozone depletion, and the effects of ozone depletion, the very first one is there will be increased incidence of cataract. Cataract is a disease caused by the ozone layer depletion, and there will be more incidences of skin cancer also. There will be more incidences of skin cancer. Now, the second point, the effect are decrease the functioning of immune system. It will decrease the functioning of immune system. It will decrease the functioning of immune system. Now, how will decrease the functioning of immune system? Because due to the killing of melanin, due to the killing of melanin, due to there will be increase in the melanin. So due to the killing of melanin producing cells, there will be the killing of melanin producing cells. And melanin, when there is melanin in our body, then our immune system, it helps in the immune system also. So melanin producing cells, melanin producing cells in our body, in our body. Now the third point is it inhibit photosynthesis. It will inhibit photosynthesis. It will inhibit photosynthesis in most of the phytoplanktons. In most of phytoplanktons. In most of phytoplanktons. So adversely, and it will affect the food chain, and it will affect the food chain of aquatic life. food chain of aquatic life. It will affect the food chain of aquatic life. Now the fourth point is that it damage nucleic acids of the living organisms. It damage the ozone depletion. Because of the ozone depletion, there is a damage in nucleic acids. There will be a damage in nucleic acid in living organisms. In living organisms. In living organisms. Now, the next topic that we are going to study about is measures to control air pollution. Now, what measures can we take so that we can control the air pollution? So, the measures that we can control the air pollution is the very first is barium compounds. We could mix barium compounds with the petrol. Barium compounds should be mixed with petrol. Barium compounds should be mixed with petrol and which reduce the smoke. Because of barium, there will be less smoke and which reduce the smoke. Now the second one is it is also very essential. It is also very essential to check the quality of gases. To check the quality of gases it is very essential to check the quality of gases released from the factories. Released from factories. There should be a quality check on the gases that are released from the factories. Now, the third point is that industries should not be established at one place. There should be a very discrete establishment of industries. So, industries should not be established. Industries should not be established at one place. At one place. And the smoke should be released into the atmosphere. The smoke that is released from various regions, the smoke should be released in the atmosphere. In the atmosphere after filtration and purification. After filtration, after filtration and purification. And purification. Now, I hope this is clear to all of you. And now with this, we are going to end the lecture here only. And thank you everyone.